Hello, everybody, and welcome to the newest indoor adventure in Waterdeep, Dragon Heist. So, before we begin, in a very, very important thing, we actually have giveaway winners for the Xanathar and Waterdeep giveaway that we've been having. I drew them earlier today, and now we can say congratulations to the noob on Twitter, as well as a Tony Love, who I believe also follows me on Twitter. So I will tweet out at the both of you because you guys are great. Congratulations. Michael, you have, aka the noob, you have won the Waterdeep Dragon Heist dice and book. And Tony, you have a brand new Xanathar's Guide Collector's Edition coming in hot once I return from PAX Unplugged, because that would be a lot because I would pay for more postage since you guys are actually more like West Coast people. So I just want to say congratulations to those guys. Also, we got a new follower in between. Yes, it is the one that Greybeard has showed off. So Dante the Almighty Thunder, I want to say thank you for the follow as we start off this session. Yes, do it, Greybeard. Every time on the Tuesday show when we get a follower.
So, what was the new guy?
His name was Dante the Almighty Thunder.
Dante, the Almighty Thunder. When we get a new follower, I take this mallet and I hit that guy in the face.
And I rattle my medicine.
Medicine. Because the best medicine is clearly checking out this channel and following it. That's what's up. So, last week on Dragon Heist, we started off the session with quite an explosive beginning, I would say, as a fireball had rocked all of Trollskull Alley, waking you guys up and really just kind of getting you out of your home to investigate what had happened. And upon going out, you saw that there had been a large charred circular marking on the ground, similar to that of a fireball spell, where you met a young child named Martum. And Martum had actually found the necklace of fireball that this explosion had come from and traded it to you all for a gem from a pouch of gems that our dear friend Wolf had found on the body of a dead halfling who had been holding a dagger in his hands. There were many, many people that had lost their lives due to the fireball, about 10 or so. And that is when you ended up kind of retreating back into the bar as the guards of the town all politely asked you guys on multiple occasions to get back inside your home and to not impede with the justice that was currently going on, as impeding with justice is a crime, as Wolf would know full well at this point. Now, speaking of Wolf, he and Ghost decided that they were going to get into a no-holds-bar fisticuffs battle in their underground fight pit to really break in the new fight pit, as it had kind of been steadied off to the side while you guys waited for Wolf to make his way back into your lives post-prison. Hubris and Kronk, you guys had decided to escort Martum back, where you met his very, very staunch and angry auntie, who managed to hold her own in a battle of intimidation against Kronk. You guys then went out for ice cream and decided to meander your way back to Spirits and Spirits, where, upon entering in, Wolf made his presence known to you, and directed your attention to to Ghost, who had been grievously injured by our dear friend Wolf in the fight pit, and so Ghost decided to really shed some light on this situation and throw out the claim that Wolf had not fought fair. Now, if there's one thing that you all need to know, it is that Kronk does not take kindly to those who do not fight fair. So, Wolf and Kronk got into also a set of fisticuffs. Although, just when it seemed like it was going to be past the point of a recoverable joke, Ghost let Hubris be aware of the fact that this was kind of meant to be a joke. This wasn't necessarily, did not expect it to go this far. As you guys witnessed, Kronk bring down the cold shoulder onto Wolf's left arm, disarming him in a very, very, very bloody array. Yes, that same cold shoulder. Upon doing so, Kronk was also knocked out and then was cast Spare the Dying on by our dear tiefling friend, as you guys kind of figured out what to do in this situation, as when you went to check on Wolf's pulse, he had expired on the floor in the basement of your fight pit, of your bar. So Hubris went out. He decided to get a gem worth 500 gold pieces, as was required for the Raise Dead spell. Kronk had retreated back into his resting area, into his room, and Ghost, you had cast the Raise Dead spell, barely being able to actually utilize the magic within the scroll. Now, Wolf, as your vision goes dark, as the last bit of pain that you feel is Kronk just bringing down this cleaver onto your arm, that is when things just sort of black out for you. And as you don't feel anything for a while. If anything, you kind of feel like you're falling and you don't necessarily have this center of gravity. And then you start feeling warmth. And at first, it feels gentle, as you were actually much colder than you thought that you were. And as you continue to feel this warmth, you begin to kind of open your eyes and you see in front of you just this incredibly overcast sky, these trees that all just seem to be kind of melting as they grow out of the ground, just gnarled and twisted and hanging low. You smell just rotting flesh mixed with this very acrid kind of pungent odor that seems to permeate the entire area around you. And your arms feel heavy, and looking down, you can see that there are chains around your wrist. And as you kind of look around and see this area that you're in, you see that there are these large mounds in the ground that sort of spit out this very sickening green fume. And as you continue to look around, you hear the sound of water. And you hear the sound of water kind of rushing far off. And as you, again, continue to look around, you see that you are in a line. And you are in a line with dozens of other people. And they are all just lined up, kind of snaking their way towards this river. And as you kind of look ahead, you can see that there is a large red creature with these wings that are kind of folded across its back, two little talons coming up, kind of holding themselves together underneath its neck like a cape. And it seems to be shouting something. And this language almost sounds like if Celestial was flipped upside down. As you are kind of listening to it. It doesn't really make sense, but you are able to speak Celestial. So you're kind of getting the same, like, it just doesn't sound right. And you can see these people in front of you. This red creature will point at them. Chains will emerge from the ground. And you see as just what looks to be hundreds of imps will swarm this human or this humanoid and then leave. And as they leave, you see a body will just fall into the river and kind of get washed away. And you go to open your mouth to kind of say something, to make some sort of protest. And when you do, you see that there is this female form with this barbed whip in her hand, these two large red wings from her back, And as you go to open your mouth, she just brings up her finger, looks at you, smiles, and just wags to let you know that you probably don't want to do that here. And as you get closer, you can hear these people all just kind of shrieking out in pain. As you get closer, you can see that these imps are actually tearing the flesh away from these individuals that are all getting kind of brought up to the river and then pushed into it. Until it is finally your turn. And as you stand there, you've seen the person in front of you, again, just kind of get torn to shreds and then thrown into this river. And as you stand there, you see this large red creature that stands about 12 feet tall in front of you, just looking down with these glowing yellow eyes. And as it does, you see it kind of look you over, and you kind of make eye contact with it. And from just in the far distance, almost what seems like a hill that is overtaking this part of a valley that you seem to be resting in, you see the glint of metal. And when you look up, you can see that standing on the back of this armored horse is a woman with long flowing red hair, as well as armor that is completely red that looks like it is either rusted or stained with blood. And as she looks down and you make eye contact with her, you see her pull the reins on her horse and turn her back towards you as she steadily begins marching off away from you. Your eyes are brought back to this large creature, and as you just kind of stare at it in the eyes, not really making a concession on your stance on where you are at this point, because this line felt like it has taken years to get through. You have felt incredibly thirsty, you felt incredibly hungry, but you've known better than to say anything to these people about what you want. You've heard rumors about people who make deals with these creatures, and it doesn't normally end up going the way that you expect. And so as you are standing in front of this creature, arms chained together, it raises its hand, and you see these chains and feel them constrict across your body to the point where you aren't capable of moving, and your eyes aren't able to close as you feel two imps come onto you and pull your eyes open as this creature just looks at you. You feel the skin break from the chains coming across you, and that's where the imps begin to dig in with their fingers and just begin to flay you with their hands, removing all of your skin, all of your clothing, everything from you until you look like an anatomical dummy of just meat, tendons, and bone. And you feel this sharp pain coming across your tendons as your legs actually give out, as your Achilles heel no longer has the actual momentum to keep your foot up, and you just fall forward into this river. And this river doesn't flow in and feel in the same way that a river does. It's very thick. It's very viscous. As it kind of washes over you, you cry out in pain from these fresh wounds that are coming into contact with this. And as you do, it feels like you're just kind of bumping in to other things inside of this river as it kind of gets pulled along. And you can feel other things dragging fingers across you or taking bites out of you as you make your way down. And as you sink further and further downward, you eventually hit a bottom of sediment. And your body continues to roll until you finally hit a very large rock. And as you hit against this rock, your back kind of bends, so that way there's no real way for you to kind of fight back against this current as it begins to steadily pick up around you. And you can just feel debris hit you over and over and over again. And it feels like it has been at least 100 years since you hit the surface of this river. Now it's feeling 10 times as long as that, as you just have this experience of everything just kind of being stripped away from you as erosion takes onto your person, until eventually you feel nothing. You do not taste, you do not hunger, you cannot see, you cannot feel anything except for this small semblance of person. And through that blackness, that's all that you, as your remaining bits, are able to focus on, is just this small white light that just sort of seems to be flickering. You see what looks to be a slender hand come down and scoop it into a palm, and then that palm is brought up, and you see this. It's a figure of gray complexion, very white hair. And they just look at this small fragment of what was left of you, and they close their hand around it and then bring it close. And you feel that darkness kind of wash over you again, although this time there is no light. But then you start to feel the air around you. You start to hear the sounds of industry kind of coming from the background. Your eyes open up, and you're inside of a warehouse. And looking around this warehouse, make a history check.
Oh, 9.
All right. So with a 9, you feel very, very. You have some mild reminiscence of this warehouse, but you aren't really sure where you can put your finger on it, but you know this place. And as you are kind of looking around and getting trying to get a better understanding of the place that you're in, you actually hear the sound of footfalls, very light footfalls, coming up from behind you. And as you turn around, you see a fair-skinned girl with long brown hair down past her shoulders. She's wearing a kind of black and gray muted suit almost that kind of opens up into a longer dress at the bottom, but it does look almost Victorian, kind of like the same styling of clothes that Ghost would often wear. But you just see that it looks very nice and very regal. And as this figure kind of comes towards the light, you see a set of icy blue eyes just staring directly back at you. And this voice comes from her. And she says, "Why do you look so surprised, brother?" You know, it's been a while. I was well, there's no one here now, and we have at least a little bit until well, you know, till we do what we're supposed to do. And I was wondering if you would care to dance. You're... Yes.
Yeah, I know I'm muted. I was abusing you. I didn't want people to hear it. Okay.
And
Hey,
so,
well, I think we should probably get out of here instead, but you can change anything.
And so she kind of embraces you, and you have this familial smell. It's like it's the scent that you have had on your person your entire life. It is that mark of family. And you get that scent from her just kind of as you bring her close, and you guys begin to steadily kind of dance around this abandoned warehouse. And as you continue to dance, you see it's very odd, because as you're dancing, you see a door open, and the door to this warehouse, and you actually see yourself walking through. And then you kind of look around and spot just a large series of crates, and you know that is the place where you had gone to hide out during this transaction. And then as you guys continue to dance, you hear this voice say once more, "You know, you're actually rather good at this. All of the partners that I've had up till this point always had 2 left feet." And she just kind of continues slowly dancing with you in the middle of this warehouse, and you hear another door open. And on the top balcony, you see almost like a stage play, your sister walking out. And then you see that there is another door opens, and you can just see this purple robed figure that has eyeball tattoos on them. And they go and meet themselves on the balcony. And the person that is dancing with you currently says, "Now, you're going to be missing one of my favorite parts. I hope that's all right if we stop this for right now." And you feel the form in front of you just kind of turn to this mist and then just disappear from in front of you. And as you look up, make a perception check.
I'm good at these. Active, that is a 20.
Okay. So you look around this room just moments before the event that you know is going to transpire. And as you do, you see a figure that you actually hadn't noticed before. And it's towards the back of this building, and you can see that there is just this silhouetted form that seems to be peering in through a window with a little red bead on a necklace in his hand. And as the interaction is happening between your sister and this Xanathar agent, you hear the window steadily slide up, and then this bead is just flicked. It is flicked very strongly, but you see it now sail past over your head and then land between your sister and this Xanathar agent as the explosion happens. And as it hits its peak and you see yourself rear up your hands as you're about to get swallowed by this flame, it stops. It just freezes in place. And you hear or you feel a presence next to you. And it's almost hot against your cheek with the closeness and proximity of this figure that is with you. Do you want to know why this is my favorite part?
Yes.
And you feel this figure walk in front of you, and it is not the same figure that you had seen previously. That was your sister dancing with you earlier. What you see instead is a very dark-skinned individual with very long white hair. They have very pleasant bodily attributes about them. They are wearing the same style dress that your sister had been wearing earlier, and when you look into her eyes for a moment, they seem to flash gold and then flash back. And she looks at you and says, "Because you weren't supposed to be there." Do you know how terribly unlucky that is? Like 1,000,000 to 1, at least. And it happened to you. Would you like to dance again?
No. What do you mean I wasn't supposed to be there?
Well, let me point it out to you. So, you see that crate right over there, and she points to one that was about 20 feet back from where you were. If you had chosen that crate, or that crate, or that crate, or that crate, or even up there, why, you wouldn't have gone through an explosion. Again, terrible luck. Now, let's go back, or forward, I should say. And you feel the kind of warehouse shudder and shake around you. as it begins instead to bring up this table from the ground that you can see is like a miniature diorama of Trollskull Alley with what look to be small plastic figurines representing each of the members of the Phantom Four. And they're all placed around, and you can see that there are a lot of workers out and about as well. And you can see that there is a figurine of yourself and a figurine of Hubris. And this all seems to be illuminated. This room that you are currently in the warehouse, is all being illuminated by this explosion in the back that is still steadily growing. And you can see that all of this is kind of happening in slow motion. And she says, now, let's see. There was... what's his name? Tally? He was a wood carver, the high-ranking member of the guild. He had a piece of paper that said that he was not to do business with you, and you decided to approach him. Makes sense. If you want something done, best to take care of it yourself. Completely understandable. Now, you punched him. He got the guards. That's understandable. But then your friend came out, and she moves Hubris's piece over to you, and you decided to draw out your sword. Now, I'm sure the guards probably could have looked entirely past that had your friend not drawn that thing that he has, that arcane focus. Now, if your friend hadn't done that, they probably wouldn't have sent for more guards, and you probably wouldn't have had to go all the way here. And she takes your figure and kind of like does a little parkour move from building to building to building until it's on top of a building that then continues to run, and she moves it about 40 feet before she sets it on its side onto the ground. Terribly, terribly unlucky. Now, let's move forward again, a little bit again, shall we? And again, you see that this table kind of just shimmers out until you can see what looks to be a like a dollhouse replica of Trollskull Manor. And inside, you can see what looks to be like a stop motion animation using these kind of figurines of you fighting Ghost and the methods that you guys had kind of done fighting each other. Now, from what I can see, this looks like a fair fight, wouldn't you say?
Yes. According to the rules.
Which I agree.
Yes, I kind of did take advantage of the openings.
Well, it's better luck for you than others. Which, to be fair, you've had quite a bit of bad, so it kind of evened out a little bit, I would think, anyways. Now, everything was fine until... And you see two figurines of Hubris and Kronk walking up to the door, and you see that Kronk has this large bowl of ice cream in his mouth that he's currently just devouring on. She says, everything was going fine until, bad luck would have it, your friend woke up and decided to call for help. And you see this figurine of Ghost just calling for help. As the one that is Kronk raises its finger in a very heroic fashion, sets down his ice cream bowl, and then charges over. And then as he is about to get to the opening for to go down into the fight pit, you see it just kind of shimmer again. And then you see what look to be 9 different orbs, all glass. And they each have a different color represented on them. And she looks at you, and you can see that her eyes are just 2 gold rings outlining a solid black pupil. She looks at you and just says, now, when we die, depending on what we want to do and how we feel about things and what we've done in our life, we go to all sorts of places. And she just grabs one side and spins it, and it begins just circling like a Wheel of Fortune roulette reel. And you can kind of hear this as this arrow is just pointing down that seems to just kind of be knocked back and forth from the spinning. And when good people die, they go to good places. And when bad people die, they go to bad places. But you changed a new leaf. Things were on the up and up for you. You were planning on going to one of these fantastic, amazing places with unclimbable mountains and heroes. But instead, and she puts her hand out and the wheel stops, and you see the arrow is pointing at a large red sphere. But instead, you went to Bator. Not able to utilize your fresh look on life. You died before anything you did really mattered, and that is the most unlucky sentiment I think I've had the pleasure of experiencing and watching in quite some time. And then in your time of need, the Red Knight turns on you. She doesn't turn on anyone.
That's probably because I borrowed some funds from her, which I was planning on returning next time I was in that area of the city.
Well,
with interest.
And that again.
And a nice red gem.
I'm sure she'll love gems. I'm sure of it. Now,
whoa.
I want to throw this out there. I really just want to give you some guesses. Do you know who I am? Come on, I love games. If you don't answer this game, then it's not really a game, is it? It's just me throwing questions out into space.
I'm not a big god person, but clearly you're not my guardian angel because, like you said, I've had a lot of bad luck.
Well, that's the thing about gods. We have all sorts of portfolios, my friend. Says that bad luck doesn't have a guardian angel over its shoulder, Does that help you with a hint?
Just someone that likes to fuck with my life?
No, see, that's the beautiful thing. I don't fuck with people. They fuck with themselves, and then they tell me to help them achieve it. If anything, I'm a god of good luck. Or at least I was at one point. But it's really quite interesting. This idea of luck is that what could be good luck for others could be entirely poor luck for others. Same side, different coin. Now, does that help you at all? This is your third and final hint. I feel like I've given away more than I even should have.
Lady Luck? I don't know.
You're very...
I really don't know god names. Like, why should I?
You were so very, very close. Now, because I won, and you couldn't guess, that means that you owe me something.
Join the queue.
Well, I don't see anybody else waiting at this current moment, so I think I'll hop in front. Now, what I'm looking for is simple, really. It's a dance.
I've already done that.
Well, I mean, did we, though?
You ended it.
No, you don't understand. A dance doesn't just end. A dance has a pause. Just because you take a breather, you gather more in, doesn't mean that the dance has to stop. This entire conversation that we've had, this has just been a dance of words. And I like dancing. And the only problem is that it's very hard for me to find partners. Which is why I'm asking you
But
again.
you're so charming.
Hmm?
But you're so charming.
Well, I do my best. Now, would you like to dance? I can lead if it helps.
I don't have a choice.
No. Because otherwise I would just keep you here. Make you listen to terrible stories of terrible things happening to good people. So come on. She extends her arm out and puts her left arm lower to properly kind of touch up against the lower half of your back.
I guess I'll dance.
I guess you will. And as you guys continue dancing and kind of begin to get into this, she's kind of just like head against your head, or she's looking at you directly, depending on how into this that you get. But as you are, she says, "Now, funny thing about your friend. I would say the attractive one, but honestly, they're all very attractive. Flaming Eye. Flaming Eye.
Don't recall.
Oh, God. I literally put on a model display for you, not fit. You're cheeky. That's fine. Now, they know a friend of mine. A good friend, some might say. He calls himself Asuran, I believe.
Asheron? I know about Asheron.
Yes. She's had contact with him, I believe. I've heard through the grapevine anyways, and honestly, it's as much as she tries to cover up the flame with her hair, it doesn't. I mean, there's still fire. In darkness, there's a little bit of light that shines through, which you may want to watch out for in the future. Otherwise, we might be talking again. Instead of dancing, and I really like this. Now, I believe you were talking to some. I read most of your file, but there was a purple-skinned gentleman that you were talking to while you were wrongfully serving your time, and he had made mention of you becoming a king of
Oh yeah.
of Deepwater.
That dude's batshit crazy.
Of what?
That dude is batshit crazy, but go on.
Yes. And you had said that you don't really like a lot of the ruling structures, a lot of the government and all of that nonsense, the hierarchy.
The factions.
Yes, the factions. People who claim that they're doing good works and on the top side of things show that they're doing good works, but secretly are just kind of mucking about everything. Now, what if I told you that I've been working with this Asuran, this whore?
Sounds expensive.
Well, luckily, my face is on every coin, whether you know it or not.
Why do I have a feeling this is going to end up with me having to do dirty work?
Oh, it's not dirty work. You don't have to get your hands dirty at all. If anything, you're cleaning. Cleaning's good. But I am tired of seeing bad people get into positions of power and then using everything that they can to hold on to it without anything bad happening to them. That's infuriating. You realize that, right? It's all tease and no payoff. It's preposterous. Now, Asuran, he believes in vengeance. He believes that people should get their comeuppance. And I, as much as I hate to admit it, agree with him on something. So we are thinking of working together a little bit more closely. So You already know somebody who is willing to help him out. If you were willing to help me out, maybe you wouldn't find yourself being so unlucky after all.
Am I going to get a fire eye?
What? No, that sounds horrifying.
I know. I don't want one. I'm just... Because if I did, that would be just flat no. I'd rather listen to shit stories.
Vibrazi, thank you for subscribing. Well, you don't have to listen to shit stories. You can
I just don't
watch
want
them.
a fire eye.
Trust me, you won't get a fire eye.
Awesome.
We will put you back just the way I found you. Well, not found you. That's a poor choice of words.
Wait.
We can put you back. Just get you back on your feet. It's fine.
Whole?
As whole as you were the day that you came to me.
That does not sound promising.
Oh. I don't break promises.
But
It's an old wives' tale. If you break a promise, bad luck 7 years. Now.
I've never broken a promise before. Why do I have bad luck?
Wish I
Yeah, and
could
your name?
tell you.
I really
You
don't
can
know your
call
name.
me. And as you ask for her name, as you guys continue to dance, she says, "The name that you can call me is Bathsheba." And she whips your arm out, so you spin out from her, and you feel your left arm that she had kind of spun you out with separate from your personage as you fall backwards. And as you fall backwards onto the floor, you feel your head kind of hitting against the ground. And that is when your eyes open up, and that is where we lead into last week's finale of this sharp breath kind of coming over.
I gotta scratch my nose.
Okay. With which arm?
The left one.
Okay. Yeah, you bring your arm up, and you, Ghost, looking down, you see that the nub moves up and the arm just kind of stays on the ground as you go to bring it up towards your face, but it doesn't seem to connect.
She's just staring at you, wide-eyed.
This doesn't count as a loss.
What?
And you can see that
I'm
Ghost
still
has
1-0.
caked in tear marks on her face. She's looking incredibly disheveled. You've never seen
Do I
Ghost look this
remember
before.
my past 1,000 years of torture?
You only remember dancing and your conversation with Bathsheba.
Cool.
But you do remember one extra detail. You have a face that you didn't have before that has currently found its way into your memory. And it was the face of the person who had flicked the beaded fireball. And what you had seen was a half-orc with a split lip down the front. It's not Nubtooth. I'm throwing that out there. Just alleviating that whole
If it
chase
was
scene.
him after everything, I'd be like, I could have killed him in the alleyway. Why have you been crying?
You,
Had a nap. And apparently lost an arm.
And you can see that the flesh has kind of just closed itself off on this nub, as the arm is currently just laying down on the ground.
You,
Do you need like a handkerchief or something? Because you're kind of
don't.
scaring me more than usual.
You died, Wolf.
Pretty certain would remember dying.
You definitely just...
I had a dream. I danced with some chick, which pretended to be my sister.
No. You died. And I hold up the scroll that's now blank.
Oh, a blank scroll with chicks.
Okay. Well, you.
I actually died.
Yes.
Which one of you beat me? Oh, it was Kronk, wasn't it?
Yes.
Because I know you couldn't beat me because you didn't, and you're stronger than Hubris because it's Hubris.
Yeah. It was Kronk. He.
Did I say something stupid? Do I remember saying my stupid line?
Yes.
Yeah. I shouldn't have tried to motivate him.
He definitely did not need it.
And Wolf, you are also back at 4 levels of exhaustion.
Okay.
As this has been a very trying experience.
I think next time we do a fight, this only, no weapons.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. You're
The nub's not a weapon. Well, it could be counted as one because I can make it into a weapon. But where's everyone else?
It's been a while. It's been most of the day. They're upstairs.
Can we go see them?
I don't think it's a good idea if you go see Kronk right now. I have to talk to him first. You're taking this extremely well. I've been sitting here for 6 hours, and you're taking this extremely well.
Well, how am I meant to take it?
I
How did you take coming back?
I had
What
you
did do
killed.
straight up?
It wasn't.
I had myself killed. You're telling me that I didn't know, telling Kronk, if he does not kill me, I will exercise his second best friend after his best friend pushed him, suggested that he should fight me because I fought dirty, which technically every fight I do is dirty because I use your openings to cause, like, do more damage than I would have. So you weren't wrong. So really, I got myself killed. And I'm back. And I know not to do that with Kronk again because that dude's scary.
You're missing a hand.
No, it's right there, and I point to it on the ground. Well, it's not missing. Everyone knows where it is right now. Just get a bit of leather, strap it underneath my arm, and just...
Do you know how much it would cost to get your arm back on?
Give me some leather, and it won't cost that much. I could use it. I could hollow it out, store soap in there. Wouldn't smell rotten flesh because it would smell like lavender.
You are so infuriating.
There is only one issue which I have about not having my left hand.
What?
How to get the stuff out of my pocket.
Do you understand what this means?
Yeah, I've lost half the use of my pockets.
Okay, fine. Perfect.
Also,
this is great.
Also, side note, the person I dance with, apparently, I honestly forget her name because I didn't nickname her in real life. So, DM.
Bathsheba.
Bathsheba. I'm just gonna Sheba. Apparently, she's friends with your dude, Mr. Arshiran.
Do I know who Bathsheba is?
Make a religion check.
Now, I do remember this whole conversation because it happened while dancing, right?
Yes.
Okay. Do I remember the models?
Ooh.
Yeah. You remember that entire warehouse sequence. Just not how you got there.
Religion is a 4.
Okay.
I don't know why I thought that would be good. I rolled a 3.
Okay.
I don't know why I looked it up.
The name sounds familiar, But that could also just be because you guys went to the Holy Hand's house not too long ago that had a plethora of gods. And that might have just been one of the names that you remembered seeing.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently, she also doesn't like people in power who abuse it. So they're going to work together, and I'm her person on the ground.
Good.
Apparently, your person gave you back your eye. My person just
No, he
sent
took
it back.
my eye.
And gave you a fire one, which apparently everyone can still notice, even with your hair. So,
I mean, okay.
and did you know Kronk had ice cream?
What?
Yeah, Kronk had ice cream.
What?
When he
Why
walked
does
into
that
the
matter
tavern
in
before-
this moment, Wolf?
Did they get us ice cream? Would it have lasted the 6 hours? I really want ice cream.
Oh my god! And I'm gonna stand up and just turn around and walk away.
Ghost, make a perception check with advantage.
Okie dokie. God damn it, Wolf. Perception check at advantage.
Yes.
Is a 24.
Okay. So as Wolf is getting very frustrated and he's kind of like curling up his fist and like bringing up his stump, just being like, why the fuck didn't they bring us ice cream? Like just kind of getting really frustrated about this. You see out of the corner of your eye, his left arm on the ground just begins to twitch. And then as he like clenches his fist, mad about ice cream, the fist clenches and just begins like smashing itself against the ground. As you can see that there's kind of a darker coloration that seems to kind of be taking over this hand.
My hand went bad, and I lopped it off at the wrist.
Oh god. You're
Did I notice it?
Yes. And you can see
That
that
you?
it is turning color where there is that band where Ghost you had etched in your prayer of vengeance along the side of yours. You see that there is just this glowing band on it now.
by the way, you notice that Ghost's arm is just on the back, completely shredded, basically, right?
Yeah.
And just like blood. But I'm good. Like it's not like free flow.
No. I'm going to take my little purple handkerchief, which I had from the Harpers, and I'll wrap up the arm. Because I'm
No.
a nice guy.
With
I'll
what?
try to. It's hard with the nub. Give us a break. I'm trying to help.
I'm gonna
Apparently, we have to
sibling like shove off, and then I'm going to pick up the left
declare
hand.
vengeance on everyone.
Okay, and it just kind of rears its wrist around so that way its fingers are looking at you and then pop up and just...
Can you move it closer to your arm so I can try and tie this knot?
Can you just?
Move it closer to your arm so I can tie up this knot.
I'm
And
gonna
it's just
smack you with
sassily
your own
moving.
hand. I am going to smack you in the face with your own hand. I'm gonna try to like put it on there. Put it on where
Open
it's.
palm, open palm,
I'm
open palm.
gonna try and put it back. I don't know.
Okay.
This is weird. I've
Just
never done
relax
this
it.
before.
I just want to try and relax my hand in case I do get slapped. It's not like rigid and firm because I don't know how much health I have left.
Yeah, so as
One.
you go and you kind of put this hand where the stump is, you can see that the magic around the ring of this arm actually begins to glow and then kind of spin along his arm. And then it goes up over the part where the separation is, and then your arm is currently reattached.
Oh,
I'm gonna
thank
say
God.
It's going to
Thank you,
cost
God.
nothing to reattach my arm.
It's backwards.
It's
No,
facing
no,
the
it's not.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I'm so
Can
glad
we
that
undo it?
worked.
I'm going to try and tug at my arm.
Okay, yeah, you give it a few tugs, and it doesn't seem to come undone. But then as you kind of touch the magic ring that's around above where you know there's this nasty scar where the separation mark is from what happened between you and Kronk. And as you touch that, it's a quick double tap. And then you see that ring kind of shift down, and then your arm just falls off onto the ground and begins crawling forward.
Oh, no.
Is it sentient?
It has a little bit in it.
I've made a new friend. I'm going to call him Bill. He muted.
I know. I was having a moment. I'm sorry. I'm sorry that I lied to Kronk and that he killed you.
Again, not your fault.
I mean, technically, yes, my fault.
If I honestly thought he was using a weapon when I made that threat against Liv. I didn't realize he was just punching me. In hindsight, probably should have realized because I was still awake.
Yes, and slashing versus bludgeoning, but it's fine.
While this is happening, can I try and make my hand crawl up the back and just sit on Goat's shoulder, just try and figure it out?
No.
Make a
Just
stealth
to
check.
pat it on the back and be like, it's okay.
Make a stealth check using the hand stats.
Okay, hand stats. Let's
You
go.
gave him hand stats? I love it.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Okay.
I'm so glad I don't have
That
to
is
cut
a
off my
plus
own.
2 to Dex. That is a total of 18.
Okay. Ghost, make a perception check.
Can I make it
This
at
will be
advantage?
with
since he's
advantage
pushing
because-
my body?
Yeah.
Perception is a dirty 20.
Yeah, so you, like, this arm just begins starting to crawl up your leg, trying to get up you.
The back of my leg?
Yeah, the back of your leg just crawling upward.
I quickly slap it off me, and then I go to slap
Bad
Wolf.
build. Bad build. I don't know what got into it.
I have to go talk to Kronk. And I'm going to, like, lick my hands, wipe my face off so that I look presentable, and I'm going to leave.
Okay.
I'm gonna attach my left hand and grab my rapier, which I'm assuming is still on the ground where it was thrown to. And casually and painfully make my way.
Wait.
Wait.
Give me 5 minutes.
Why? I want to
Because
see.
Kronk is going to try to kill you if you come out here.
Yeah, clearly he can't. I'll take him on any time. In like 4 days' time because I'm really
Does
tired.
he have 1 HP?
Yeah.
Fuck.
Do you want to heal me?
I
Please.
can't.
What? Oh, that's right. You healed Kronk when I was going to kick his ass. Again, I'm going to pick. Did you pick up the bar of soap I left by you, which had Wolf 1 goes 0?
It's kind of been left off to the wayside in the events of the day.
Again, Wolf 1 goes 0.
Please.
That doesn't count as a win. I didn't lose.
Please just stay here for 5 minutes.
It'll take me 5 minutes to get up to the ladder because I'm tired. I don't want to play with my hand.
Okay. I'm going to go and I'm going to try and find Kronk. And if I pass Hubris, I'm going to say something to him.
Okay. Yeah, so you exit out of the like trap door that you guys have that leads into your basement, and as you do, you open it up, and your tavern is packed. It's a little less busy, mostly because the explosion earlier in the day kind of scared some people off from the North Ward, just really not wanting to deal with it, or at least risk the opportunity of another explosion happening to them. But as you go up, Not Doug is there performing as usual. You can see that Klee and Eliota are there as they were earlier in the day, just kind of continuing about their shift. And as you are kind of climbing up, you hear Eliota just, all right, if you could just watch it for a little bit. And she kind of like has to step over you to continue delivering out drinks and food. As the sound of this bar is just kind of happening around you. It feels more, personally, it feels muted. Like, even though you know it's supposed to be loud, your thoughts are much louder than the actual surrounding space. And Wolf, you can hear Not Doug playing above you.
That 5-minute waiting period is not happening.
I really hope that Kronk is in that room.
So on 1 health, and I'm so getting into that mosh pit. If that's not a mosh pit, I'm starting one.
Oh my god. God, is Hubris there?
He's in his room.
Okay. Then I'm going to go outside and go upstairs.
Okay.
If I don't see him.
Yeah. So yeah, you go upstairs to the living area of spirits and spirits. And who are you going to check on first? Hubris or Kronk?
Our bedroom's at the end of the hallway, right?
Yeah, yours is at the end of the hallway. Yeah.
Okay, so my heels click, and I assume everyone in the world can hear them. So I'm going to walk up to Hubris's door, stop, just pause, and Hubris?
Yeah.
He's fine. Intact, mostly. And frustrating, as usual.
Okay.
Another pause, and then she continues down the hallway.
Okay.
And then I go to our room.
Yeah, and when you go in, you see that Kronk has been he's been chugging down a bottle of whiskey that Hubris had handed into his mitts last session, and he's kind of just been going to town on that underneath the windowsill in your guys' room, just kind of pressed up against the wall. And he's still awake. It's relatively early in the evening. It's only around 7 or 8 at this point.
Mm. Hey, big guy. I need to talk to you. Is that okay? You're muted. I thought you were just ignoring me.
Pregnant pause.
I did a couple of
Yeah.
and then I said, do we gotta get rid of the body?
No. Is he sitting down? Are you sitting down?
Yeah, I'm sitting underneath the windowsill, so basically, like, here is the actual window. It's like behind my head.
I'm gonna come like kneel next to him, like a parent talking to a child, but not in a condescending way. But that's just like the
eye level. It's important.
Which means you only have to bend about yay much.
Right. I'm up on my knees. Kronk, I need to tell you something. We've been through a lot, right?
Yeah.
And we've had each other's backs. And I know you have my back, and you know I have yours. But I was not truthful to you tonight, this afternoon.
About what?
Wolf did nothing wrong. He won the fight fair and square. And I mean that because it was very frustrating to me, and I didn't like that, 1, he won, and 2, that he left me unconscious for God knows how long. So when I heard you arrive, I pretended like I was more hurt than I was.
But if you wanted him beat up, you should have just said beat him up.
I know. But I mean, now it sounds silly, but I thought it would be funny.
Well, we won't have to worry about him no more. He's dead.
Well, he's not. Remember how I've got a god on my side?
And as you're speaking, the brow is coming in tighter and tighter, like he's not dead.
Does he not understand, or is he getting angry?
He doesn't. Yeah, he doesn't understand. Like, why? Yeah. No, I killed that guy. That guy's dead.
So you killed him, I brought him back. Now, I can't do that very often. That was a piece of paper helped me do that. Do you understand?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That's why I should have stomped him.
No. Another thing. So, just so we're on the same page, I was wrong. I lied to you, and I am sorry.
Okay.
Okay. And the other thing is, we're not angry at Wolf anymore. He's okay. And he can... We're not going to hurt him unless we have to. Does that make sense?
So he does that stone statue thing he does. And then he's like, second time he went after Liv.
I know. And I think that he only does that to get under your skin. And honestly, you know, Wolf, I don't think he even knows how one would get rid of a ghost.
And from Kronk's pupilless eyes, like tears start to run out, and he's like, Liv's my friend. He's the only one who's treated me right and asked nothing ever in return.
And you see a little mug just kind of lift up and clink itself against the bottle and set itself down.
Ghost immediately gets a little like stiff. You're right. And I'm sorry that I haven't been a good friend to you up until this point.
No, you've been a good friend until this point.
Right. And I hope that this is not something that is going to be a habit of mine. And I don't expect it to be, okay? I promise you that. I won't lie to you.
And you don't think we're better off without Wolf? Because, hey, he got them thrown in jail. He's threatened to live.
I'm excited to see where his new leaf brings him. If he continues on the path he was, we'll leave him. No, he'll leave us in one way or another. Okay?
Okay. And he's getting the tears out.
Mm-hmm.
And he's so from now on, you tell me straight.
Yes.
Okay. And then he grabs her and hugs her.
I do have one more thing. When I said stop, I got in front of you and you didn't stop.
Mm-hmm.
That's new.
Just figured we were better off.
Well, I think part of having free will is being able to control yourself, right?
This life confuses me sometimes. And he's like, you know, he's still got you wrapped in one arm, but he's like kind of knuckling his forehead. Like,
I know. I'm going to grab his face, but we'll figure it out, okay?
All right.
No, scrush him. Scrush him.
Big solid face.
Yeah.
All right. So we're all good, everybody?
I don't know. You and I are good. and we're not going to try and kill Wolf. Okay? Okay.
All right. And then he starts to smile and he goes, "Not today, anyway."
Not today. And I'm going to snuggle in.
Big hug.
All right. Wolf, you are currently in the basement hearing the melodious sounds of Not Doug echoing through from the floor above you with a tavern full of people kind of walking and milling about. What would you like to do?
Well, first off, knowing that I'm super weak and that Liv likes hitting me with doors, I just want to let them know that it was all a joke to get, well, not a joke, it was more of a way to get Kronk super motivated for our fight. And I'm not going to try and kill him.
Okay.
So please don't hit me with the door.
Yeah, you don't hear anything. You don't
Please.
get any. You don't get any immediate response.
Especially for the fact that I don't think anyone's going to be coming down here anytime soon, and I don't want to fail my death saving throws when I get knocked unconscious by a ghost. Hey, I'm back.
Yeah, so you're just chilling in the basement.
Oh no, I'm going up. I just wanted to say that to Liv to not get killed leaving the fight pit.
Okay. Yeah, so as you are exiting the fight pit, you are currently moving at half speed because of your exhaustion. And as you go to try and lift up the actual secret door that you guys have, which it's not really a secret at this point. It was designed to be a trapdoor into the basement. Or at least like a hatch that you could open up. But you were going to have to make a strength check with disadvantage as you attempt to lift this door.
Don't need to roll the second one. That was a 2.
Yeah, so you go and push your arm against it, and in your weakened state, it does not seem to give it all. And you can actually hear the sound of Klee, your half-orc barman, standing directly above you as he just sort of seems to be talking to a customer and enjoying their performance of Not Doug.
Can I hit it with my rapier and like just start banging on it?
Yeah, you can just bang on it a few times. And when you do...
a splinter falls down and does 1 damage to you.
Kills
and
you.
I'm dead.
No, you hear like kind of this like exclamation like, "Oh!" And then the hatch actually gets lifted open and you see Klee looking at you. Evening there, mister. Your friends never told me your name.
You just call me. Now I'm going to contemplate saying sir or boss, but new Wolf. You can just call me Wolf.
All right, Mr. Wolf.
Just Wolf, no mister. That's my dad.
And he just kind of like tilts his head at you like a dog that doesn't understand the trick that it has been pulled in front of it. Just, okay, Mr. Just Wolf. And he kind of motions for you to exit out of this hatch. And when you do, you can see that there are a number of people that are kind of just like turned and looking at you, just like, where are they keeping all of these people underneath this bar? But the music just kind of continues to play as the night kind of goes on. I want you to make a perception check with disadvantage as you are, or actually this would be a history check with disadvantage.
Okay. Because of the disadvantage, it's a dirty 20, not a nat 20. So
for history?
Yeah.
Okay. Sounds good. So, yeah, you are looking at this band, and you get the sense that like this, like, you know that this is not Doug. You've heard them play many times before, but you kind of get the feeling like you've seen that frontman before, and maybe not as a maybe not like from a concert point. This is actually the best view that you've ever gotten being close up to him. But there's something about his long red hair that is very striking to you. But you can't really place your finger on as to why, but he does seem familiar. And as he's continuing to play, he looks over at you and just gives you a very kind smile and nods towards you and raises his lute a little bit and keeps playing. Just not really sure. He believes that he knows who you are based off of your other three friends saying, hey, we're going to have a friend come by. He's cool. And like he knows that you are the resident super fan of his group. And he just he looks at you and just kind of sees that you aren't looking that great. And so he will quickly play a very short little speedy tune and will actually give you a D12 Bardic Inspiration.
Oh, cool, man. I'll give him a thumbs up. I'm pretty certain I would be smart enough to attach my arm before I left. Instead of having it on my shoulder and it's just,
That's a high-level bard.
Yeah,
he's a famous performer.
But you're saying I recognize him from somewhere apart from Knocked
Yes.
Can I leave a note with the dude who called me Mr. Just Call Me Wolf?
Yeah.
Tell him to let them know that I want to talk to him after.
Sure.
And do I know what time we shut?
You guys typically shut around 1 a.m. But you know that the Bard set is usually done around 10:30, 11. They don't perform the entire night. They will perform during the peak business hours to help draw people in and then kind of peter out as the evening goes on.
Okay. And can I wait the 5 minutes and then go to knock on Hubris's door?
Yeah. So you write out your note really quick. And then you end up exiting from the bar, going upstairs. And Klee will thank you for leaving a note, and he'll make sure the right people get it. And then, you make your way upstairs, and Lift doesn't seem to be fucking with you at all. He's not keeping doors shut or hitting you on the behind as you walk through. It just seems to be, for all intents and purposes, a regular house.
Okay. So I want to go, when I get close to Hubris's room, I want to double tap my arm and have it on my shoulder. Okay. Just chilling. And then I'll knock.
So Hubris, you hear a knocking at your door.
Yeah?
You gonna open the door for me? Or are you gonna let me die out here?
You hear the sounds of boots on wood. And the door slowly opens. He looks at the hand on your shoulder.
It's kind of giving my thumbs up.
Yeah, just it kind of like was attached and then it pops up to just rest. And then goes back to just kind of holding on after you see it like almost starting to lose its center of balance and then just claps on and then kind of climbs back up to a comfortable spot.
Cute. I slug wolf.
I'm down.
Okay.
If you hit.
Make an attack roll.
I'm down.
Natural 20.
So, because the Tuesday night crew is different than the Monday night crew, I have to ask, is this subdual?
I have.
Roll for it.
I'm looking at Spare the Dying right now, but yes, this is subdual.
Okay. So you just deck Wolf square in the jaw, and Wolf, you feel your head just twist sharply as your vision kind of fades to black as you fall down onto the ground. You are unconscious before you even hit the ground. And Hubris, you see that this arm kind of falls off to the side and then kind of twists until it rights itself and then just crawls back over to Wolf.
Does it start doing the CPR impressions just himself?
There's another sound of boots on wood as he goes downstairs, gets a cup of water, comes back up, and then splashes him.
All right. And that is where we are going to go into our first break of the evening, is Wolf getting water splashed in his face to wake him up. So I wanted to say thank you to everybody who has stuck with us so far. I know that it was a little bit of a slower start to get everybody wrapped up, but now we're all on the same page. Our friends are back alive, and a lot of fun things are in store in the streets of Waterdeep. So we are going to try and be back in 5 to 10 minutes. So grab food, grab a drink, grab a friend, bring it back. Yes, Greybeard.
V Brizzy followed us.
Subscribe.
He subscribed. They subscribed.
Oh, okay. So
Ooh, smart.
V Brizzy, when I'm on Tuesday nights, somebody does something awesome like that, we take this mallet, we hit this guy in the face for the subscription.
Yay!
Just for you, buddy.
It's
Thanks.
so good. It's the best. So we're going to try and be back in 5 to 10 minutes. So don't go no place, and we will see you guys shortly. All right. Bye! Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Waterdeep Dragon Heist, a cool stream for even cooler people. And if you're just tuning in right now, I wanted to congratulate our winners of the giveaway, the noob, as well as our buddy Tony, who's a fan of the show. So thank you, Tony, for coming by and entering into our contest. And you have won great things, and I will be getting into contact with the both of you after this stream to let you know that you have won a prize. Please come to the principal's office. But where we ended last scene was Hubris coming back and throwing water on Wolf's unconscious face. After Wolf had made his way upstairs and then proceeded to get punched in the face by our dear tiefling friend. So yeah, Wolf, you just feel this cold splash of water kind of come over you, and you look up and you see that Hubris is just standing over you.
That doesn't count as a victory.
Out of all of the fucking things that could come out of your insufferable gob, you said, I'm going to exercise your best friend. He is a target on my neck. Ha ha ha, motherfucker.
I felt like he wasn't putting his heart into it. And the rules of the Fight Club is all out.
Fuck your Fight Club, you died! Wolf,
So you keep telling me,
I had
but
to watch, in a span of a fortnight, I had to watch 2 of my friends die. I had to put down another person like they were a rabid dog. Fuck your Fight Club!
You just called me a friend.
I'm
Can you
going
help me
to
out?
I'm going to sock you across the face if you don't get that fucking smirk.
You want to help me out?
I lower my hand.
The left hand just jumps up and attaches itself into your palm.
Ah! Ah!
Wait, no, watch this.
I have the gun like pointed at that.
It's like crept up.
Don't attack Mr. Fingers. Put the hand towards my stub.
And it crawls back down, and you see it place its back end against the stub.
I'm like a fucking wizard. I do real magic, not this fake light shit. Can you work out how we can use this to freak people out?
You know, I was going to say that I had Ghost bring you back just so I could personally kill you myself.
Yeah, we don't have any more scrolls, remember?
I know we don't have any more scrolls,
Yeah.
and that's the main reason why I'm not putting a bullet between your eyes.
That plus you couldn't. Or wouldn't, because I'm your best friend.
Let's not stretch it.
But yeah.
Listen. There's a
why are
lot
you
of...
so-
Sorry, go ahead.
Why are you so mopey? And are we just gonna like stay out in the hallway where everyone can hear us? are we going to move into? Apparently, a chair that can fit 2 people. You've been holding out on me.
He turns and walks in.
Yeah. He just, while you're still just sitting on the ground.
Sans the...
I'm going to crawl in really quick and shut the door. Be like,
Okay.
do tell the goss.
I'm mopey.
It was Kronk, wasn't
Oh
it?
my god, I'm going to murder you so
Okay,
bad.
mopiness first. 2 people in a chair second.
Listen, I'm mopey. Because there's just been a lot of stress and people dying. And these people I kind of have an attachment to.
You should probably get better at defending him then.
All right, between you and
Don't
me.
shoot the scarecrow. Shoot the gigantic Kronk who's punched me in the face.
We've got to talk about that, by the way, because obviously there is a lot of control issues, and I don't mean domineering, like self-control issues within our little group.
You have too much, other people have too little. Okay, I'll shut up and listen, because you're going to punch me again.
Yes, actually, you hit it right on the nose, like I'm about to.
Where is your gun? Are you wearing it, or is it on your bench somewhere?
No, it's actually like in his hands, like propped on his shoulder.
Can you put the gun down? Because you get very emotional.
I
And
get
I'm not
very
right next.
emotional.
Yeah, look at you firing up. And if you're not next to me to punch me, you'll try and hit me at range, and that thing does not hold back.
Okay, you know what? I like gingerly put the gun on the seat and then walk over to my desk and sit on it. Just so you know, I don't need it to hit you.
Okay, and I'm going to double tap my arm and have it rest on the shoulder on that seat near the gun so I can reach to it just in case.
Okay.
Guard dog.
Yeah, you see his left hand is just sitting on your chair. And it just, you see it wrap its fingers on the leather of your chair.
Anyway. So, I don't fucking know anymore, Wolf. What was up with the whole I'm going to exercise lift thing as a Goliath about twice my size is fighting you? That's a literal death sentence.
Well, there may have been a slight little moment in there where that's what I wanted.
Ooh. Buddy.
But, crazy lady started dancing with me, and she fucking cray.
Ghost?
No, I keep forgetting her name. She's like the goddess of bad luck.
Bathsheba?
Yeah, her. Apparently I'm now her champion. Which makes a lot of sense because I am a champion.
Oh, no, I was gonna say someone with catastrophically bad luck as yourself? Yeah, you're a champion.
But yeah.
I don't know how I'm going to talk to those two tomorrow.
You mean?
Like, I have to mull it over.
Mull what over?
I don't know. That's the thing.
What don't you know? Let's talk it out, buddy. Come on. Let's talk it out.
What Ghost did was all types of fucked. And what Kronk did was also all types of fucked. And you don't do those two things to people in your troop. At least that's how I was raised.
admittedly, Kronk was under the impression that I was against everyone. And it looked like you thought that as well for a bit.
All right, I apologize. I let the moment take me.
I think we all let the moment take us there. Me committing suicide by Kronk.
Yeah,
You... I don't know what you were doing with your gun.
intimidation.
There was a lot going on at that
There was a
moment.
lot going on, yes.
And not gonna lie, you're not very intimidating. But what do you mean you don't know how you're gonna talk to those two tomorrow? You go up and you say, "Hey, what up? You want breakfast? Or we should go get Wolf some ice cream because we were selfish and didn't get him any."
I don't know how things happen in your little microcosm of a brain, but I have some standards that I like to keep. And murdering your friends isn't one of them. I need to figure out...
I pushed him to that.
I know.
So why are you angry at... So you're angry at Kronk because I pushed him into killing me.
Because he could have a little semblance of self-control.
If I was actually trying to kill you guys and I was going to kill you, you would want Kronk to have zero control and kill me first. Correct. Or if I was someone else, like an evil Zhentarim dude who's coming to kill everyone in this place, would you want to have control?
That is totally different.
No,
I'm talking
about... In Kronk's mind, I was that person. I was going to kill his family and friends.
Friend, but... Still.
If I killed him and I killed Liv, as if I wouldn't kill used to, I'd finish the job. I don't do shit half-assed.
Do you?
No, I tried fighting him full. Never doing that again.
Oh, you're fighting. Yeah, okay, you never fight.
Listen.
Everything else, though, was half-assed. Yeah.
Hence, on perspective.
All right.
Okay, and so why are you pissed at Ghost?
It's hard to explain.
Try.
She's... I guess after tonight, after seeing at least a little bit of that part of her, maybe... I don't know.
What part?
The manipulative part. That little...
Where she lied to get what she wanted.
Yeah.
The part where you lied to us all the time as well, and the fact when someone lies to you, you get hurt. So now you kind of felt how it feels being lied to by people you thought was your family.
You make a point.
Or the part where you're super hurt because she lied to you and you didn't think she would lie to you because of how you feel about her. But then you won't man up and go tell her. So you're lying to her constantly by just saying you're happy being friends. Maybe if she knew and thought there were people which actually cared about her more than just for the fact that she's got like a flame eyeball, she wouldn't be so cold and manipulative and a bitch. So...
But honestly, if she did know, what's not to stop her from manipulating me using these feelings?
Me? I don't know if you know. I'm pretty good at spotting a liar. You're not.
I'm fairly...
And then, you know, maybe you won't be all like, does she, doesn't she? Here's a tip. Be confident. Tell her what's happening.
You know, I fucking hate talking to you because you make all these good points.
Does that make sense? I'll tell you what, I'll give you motivation. You have 4 days, but I am 100%. I will show you how it's done.
All right, 4 days.
Trust me, you don't want me as competition. I will destroy you. We'll bury you into the ground.
I mean, with threats like these, I might as well slit your throat when you're asleep.
You couldn't if you tried. I'm gonna have Mr. Fingers grab his gun.
I cast Mage Hand and grab my gun. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, so
I don't have Mage Hand.
you see that this hand grabs your pistol grabs your firearm by the trigger and just points it towards you.
I point my fingers towards him like an actual gun.
What are you doing?
I point a little bit to the left of his head and snap my fingers and cast Ray of Frost, just like at a random waste bin.
Okay. And as you shoot your Ray of Frost, Wolf, you see that the finger pulls on the trigger for the firearm that is currently pointing towards Hubris, but you just hear a click as the chamber just rotates, but nothing comes out.
I don't need my gun to fuck you up, buddy.
I said give me 4 days. Like, it would just be embarrassing if I beat you when I'm not at 100%.
All right, maybe I might need my gun to fuck you up at 4 days.
Click, 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 and the finger is just like trying to shoot more, but nothing's happening.
I'd like to picture
Don't try firing.
What am I doing? What do I do next? So yeah, let's see if that gives you a little bit of motivation, because I kind of need this whole family thing to work. I've had like 3 families. This is my 4th. First one was my sister. Kind of got blown up. By the way, sidebar, before I get distracted too much, saw the face of the guy which used the fireball, which killed my sister. And
that's a thing now.
Yeah, and I kind of recognize the lead singer of Knock Dog by somewhere else from Knock Dog, but we'll get back to that once I've finished pointing out other facts to you.
All right.
What was I saying?
Sidebar something something.
Oh, families. Shantaram used me to kill people. Okay, not cool. Then there was the prison family, which I kind of used them to survive, but they kind of want me to run Waterdeep, which they're also batshit crazy. Then there's you guys, which so far have been all right, minus the killing me. But you know, these have, for the most part, made me a better person. I do have a feeling that I should go donate some money to a god. Okay.
I reach into my pouch and I give him 5 gold. And I like look at him, take both my hands and like.
I just have a feeling some red knight god, which I stole money from, I should probably put money back to.
Yeah. Why?
It was there, okay?
Okay, fair.
That was before I changed. I'm a new man now. But yeah, long story short, forgive the other 2. Quit lying to everyone.
I've been really trying.
Goes how you feel.
Oh, okay.
The longest lie you've been telling everyone, including yourself.
I'm gonna say I'm so
4
good at
days.
lying.
And how does Ghost know 2 people can fit in that chair?
We might have woken up in the chair together after some. I have my arm over his shoulder as I'm walking him towards the door.
Can I get my hand? Can I have my hand run up?
Yeah, it just hops. After dry firing one more time, it hops off of the chair, crawls onto the ground, and then scurries up over to you, Wolf, where it crawls up your leg, and then from your hip kind of brings its bottom end out to meet at your stump at your side.
And
This
as
is
like
so cool.
as Wolf is standing there, like still talking, I take like my boot and I put it to his butt and I kick him out.
Okay.
So wait, you're not gonna come talk to Not Doug with me?
Oh,
Okay.
shit! I thought you wanted to do that thing.
I'm on one fucking hell. If the shit goes down,
Maybe,
It is me.
maybe you should take the time to think about your words. Think of the consequences that happen. No, wait, yeah, fucking.
Nope. I'm gonna walk off and go knock on Jason Kronk's door because fuck it.
Okay.
I'm gonna use my hand to knock, and I'm gonna be like other side of the hallway, like way back. Hello.
What? How long has it been?
Uh,
Like 15 minutes?
at this point, it's been about a half hour.
Did they hear the explosion?
What explosion? Oh, the smell?
You were like, just yelling at
Make perception checks.
Nope. I rolled a 2. I can't imagine that it's better than an 8.
I got, a 13.
Ooh, Kronk!
No.
Yeah, so Kronk, you would have heard Hubris's raised voice, but you would not have heard exactly what he was saying. Just more of that he was saying something and saying it loudly.
Don't care.
We hear a knock at the door.
Yeah, but the knock is placed at like 2 inches up from the ground. Like, it seems like this would be a low knock even for a halfling. Maybe this is that rat that you guys saw that waved you on that's finally coming for its callback.
Finally! Do you want to go talk to people?
Hello.
I'm all right. Let's go.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I'm all right, meaning no. But it means yes. Got it. I walk to the door and I open it up.
And you just see this hand just on the ground right below you, and you see that Wolf is down the hallway.
I'm gonna make my hand run back to me.
Okay, and it just scurries back.
So it doesn't get crushed. Run, quick, it's big.
Yeah, and it just crawls back to
footsteps.
you. And then it just kind of attaches itself on your leg.
I'm gonna look at Kronk.
Okay.
What
Hey,
expression
bud.
does he have on his face?
It's that mild confusion sort of thing still because, he's like accepted your word, but this is still a little different. Like that guy was dead a few minutes ago. So.
Yes.
Just want to see if Trump's cool.
And you see that the hand that is detached also goes into a thumbs up. It kind of like clatters down onto the floor. It had to release its grip of your leg in order to do so. And then after it clatters, it then just pops back with its fingers and crawls back up your leg, Wolf.
I love his hand.
I guess Kronk's big face kind of ducks in and looks over, and I guess he would say something like, "Sorry, I killed you."
Sorry, I threatened to exercise your second best friend.
They
It's like 2 kids having to apologize to each other.
exactly.
Excuse me, I didn't hear you.
Sorry
I
for
said,
what?
Yeah.
I would never exercise your best friends. I just wanted to do.
say it like you mean it.
I just wanted to get you fully motivated for our fight because it felt like you were holding back. Next time, please hold back some more than you did last time.
Yeah, Kronk would laugh at that. He gets the big laugh and he like bonks his head on the door frame, and he's kind of like gives you the stink eye a little bit, and then comes out and I guess sweeps Ghost out into the hallway as he comes into the frame, and then he'll give you the one-armed hug if you're.
Please don't crush me. Please don't crush me. I'm on 1 health.
Yeah. So he doesn't do the big lift, just like the one arm, kind of like we cool. Puts his head on top of your head.
I wish I'll end today's session there where everything's all good between everyone.
If Hubris catches Ghost's eye, he'll like nod into his room.
I slide in there as a, I don't know, she's not very stealthy, so it's kind of just like a take one foot and slide to the other foot.
Yeah. And Wolf, you definitely take notice of Hubris just kind of giving Ghost this nod towards his room, and then Ghost leaving.
I just hold up.
I give a finger gun at like the pinky.
3 days.
And then the entire time Kronk is just giving you this like side hug, just like, it's okay, buddy, we're cool, like oblivious to the rest of what's going on.
Like I said, his head resting on top of Wolf's head.
Mm.
And then I guess if I see them step into the room, right?
Yeah.
All right, and I'll be like, let's get some drinks.
Okay. I kind of want to eavesdrop.
Yeah, that's not a viable option.
You will.
I'm like pushing him along, kind of like,
Yeah,
we're friends
he's
now.
Really want to eat.
He's feeling very frail at this point. Like, you can tell that there's not a whole lot of strength in his legs, kind of keeping back his opposition. Like, you can feel him kind of like when you get a cat even looking near a body of water and they just leg lock and like really don't want to do it. But imagine like the fourth
cat.
layer of exhaustion cat doing that. Just like he has no say in the matter. He's going with it.
All right.
Yeah, and so you just bring Wolf outside, and then you take him downstairs. And when you go downstairs, the music has stopped, and Mr. Clay ends up coming over to you guys and says, "Hi there, Mr. Just Wolf. I just wanted to let you know, he did stick around for about 5 minutes, said he was very busy, and headed off. But he plays here all the time. I'm sure that if you just stay here over the next, well, as long as they actually play, you'll probably get a chance to meet him again."
Cheers. I always forget your name.
It's Clay.
Cheers, employee number 1.
And the bar's still full of people, though, right?
Yeah, the bar has a decent amount of people, and they all seem to be kind of just the after-dinner rush has come in. They know that they're not going to be getting a show with their meal, but you can tell that they're just sort of sitting around and actually enjoying a quality meal and quality ale at Spirits and Spirits.
All right, and then Kronk will be like, "All right, Wolf's alive. Who's gonna get cronked?" Over the crowd.
I got cronked and died. Yes.
And you see that there is a good there's like a good like 3 people just woo, and the rest of the bar just looks over like
Perfect.
Okay, just kind of go back to doing what they're doing. But you like Clay working behind the bar just woo, like he's super down with it as well.
Big high five.
And he slaps 5 of you.
So fucking dumb.
So yeah, you guys begin having your drinks, and Wolf, as you're sitting there waiting for the first drink to be poured, you actually overhear a little bit of conversation that is happening in your bar, as it sounds like there is still the murmurs of conversation that are kind of going on about the explosion that did happen in Trollskull Alley earlier in the day. And one of the voices that you hear is the herbalist, Fala, the owner of Coralon's Crown. And you hear them saying, "I was watering the plants in my greenhouse on the 2nd floor of my shop when the blast blew some of the windows. Luckily, I wasn't injured. Through the smoke, I saw a cloaked man take something from the body of a dead gnome, and then start limping away. He was badly burnt and casting glances over his shoulder, like he was afraid something might be following him. And well, I saw him heading towards around the back of the alleyway, but I really couldn't make much more of that." And you see that your other neighbors are kind of there, and they're all just sort of talking amongst themselves at this point, as Fala is kind of letting them know letting the rest of the group know what they saw, and the rest of the group is kind of agreeing with them, just like, oh yeah, no, like I also think I saw a cloaked figure, and like they're kind of just sharing that information between them, as it seems like the events of today, the events of the explosion definitely overshadowed, to them anyways, your secret death underneath the floor of this very bar, followed up with your secret resurrection.
Bury his secret Jesus.
Secret Jesus.
That's not a secret, guys. Yeah, I'll just take note of that, and we'll go talk to her tomorrow. I think we'll just let
them.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you are you're kind of just taking in the sights and sounds of the bar, and then that's when two large tankards are set in front of both you and Kronk, as they have had to acquire Kronk-sized mugs, specifically for when Kronk decides to come down and actually partake in the bar, and they have filled you up one as well. So I would like for you guys to make Constitution saving throws as you enjoy this alcohol. Wolf, you are going to be making yours with disadvantage because of the exhaustion.
Hope you don't go blind.
I got an 18 with disadvantage.
Over 20.
Yeah, you guys are fine. And Wolf, this is delicious alcohol. You hadn't even really gotten the chance to enjoy a quality drink last night after you had been released from prison, because you were so focused on wanting to give everyone their bars of soap and let them know how you felt. And so this is...
That's not even 24 hours ago.
No, it is not.
I dropped so much shit in 24 hours. New Wolf.
Yeah, so this is like your first beer in about 20 days, and it tastes delicious. And you guys kind of just hang out in the bar, and Klee keeps pouring you more drinks and bringing them out. And you guys can make another set of Constitution saves.
That was a 9. Does my hand get drunk, or is it just fine?
It's currently attached to your arm.
Yeah, but like just in general, can my hand get drunk, or is it always?
It is technically immune to
designated
poison.
driver?
Yeah, the hand will drive you home. No worries. It's the designated digits. That's what it is.
21, by the way.
Yeah. So Kronk, you are feeling fine, and looking over, you can see that Wolf is now starting to like slump a little bit more than just regular exhaustion as he makes his way through the second large tankard of ale.
We need to get you to bed.
We need to give them some time to sort their stuff out.
All right.
I'll just have a nap down here first.
And,
we'll give them 5 minutes. No Hubris.
So, I'll take him over to a table since I see that he's kind of wobbly, even without the drinks.
Yeah.
And I'll put lean a chair like he usually does, except I'll kind of tuck it in so it's stuck, so it can't tip over. And then I motion to the seat for him to sit down. And then I do that sort of not really sit on the chair squat thing that Kronk does, so he doesn't crush the chairs. And we'll just sit at our table and yammer.
Okay. All right. So Hubris and Ghost, you guys are up in Hubris's room.
Hey.
Oh.
I had this very long tirade prepared.
You can speak your mind.
Oh. You see his tail curl around his waist. I forgot about it. That was fucked up.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, it was. It was not my intent.
Next time, please don't sick us on Wolf, even as a jest.
Yes, I think I've learned my lesson.
Right. He'll, walk over to the window and stand there. You know, this is a very good thing we have. I really enjoy everyone.
What do you mean?
Just saying, I like you guys enough that I don't leave. But, yeah. I don't know. Shit like that isn't gonna fly anymore. And I know you've done a little repenting.
She kind of puts her hands behind her back. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and you could just see that one arm had just been shredded. There's a lot of dried blood kind of coked into the fur.
Yeah. Hubris eyes it. All right. Walks back to her, walks her over to the table and has her sit. Pops open the chair and rummages around, pulling out alcohol and some bandages.
Oh, please don't.
Are you afraid it's gonna sting?
No, I did it on purpose.
Well, no sense in losing both your arms if they get infected.
Okay. She puts her arm up.
Yeah. Just tend to her. Medicine. Oh, cool. 15.
Yeah. No, and you managed to get most of the blood that was kind of matted away, and you apply the alcohol. You're not just pouring it directly on, but you kind of pour some onto a swab, make sure that it's properly done, and then you just kind of give a wrapping around it. And as you do, you can see that it's dried by this point. It had already kind of scabbed over, as this whole event took place mere 7 hours ago. And
I took a short rest.
yeah. Yeah. So it's definitely coated over, but you do apply disinfectant and get it pretty properly bandaged.
Thank you.
Yeah. Hey, you know about the whole telling the truth thing that I made a promise to you about?
Yes. And I understand how hypocritical I was because of that.
You gave me a chance, so tit for tat, I guess. I wasn't lying, by the way. And he'll quickly give her a kiss on the cheek. I like you enough that I don't want to leave. And then he walks out.
She just kind of sits there for a minute. You walked out of the room?
Yeah, he's gonna go downstairs.
Oh, okay. I was I'm in your room, right? She's gonna go back to her room then. Not quite understanding what's going on.
Okay.
She should have been punished for the things that she's done, but she's not being punished by anyone. She doesn't understand.
All right. Yeah. So, Hubris, you exit your room, and with a new sense of heart pounding confidence, just kind of quietly make your way downstairs to the bar. And when you get downstairs, you see that Wolf is just conked out, just reclining back in a chair, as Kronk is just having more and more of these tankards brought to him. as he keeps repeating, "Wolf's not dead!" And then they end up bringing more, and you see Klee bringing more tankards over and setting it down. Ghost, when you get back to your room, you see that there is what looks to be a letter, a piece of paper that is kind of folded up and set onto your pillow.
I will go over and look at the envelope. Does it have writing on it?
It does not have any writing on the outside. And as you open it up and look inside, all it says is, "We know, we can help." And you see that there is a little house drawn that has flames coming off of it, as well as the picture of a sun. And then underneath it, it says, "Come to the turret."
Do I know what the turret is? Oh,
yeah, in your
that's
house.
district.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, like
I
in
see.
your house, like the attic space that you guys had initially found all of the waitstaff clothing in. That would be the turret.
I can't insight check a note, can I? I would I'll Liv, darling, are you here?
You see a mug just kind of set itself up and down a couple times.
Would you do me a favor and let Hubris know I'd like to see him on the turret in 10 minutes?
And then the cup just kind of pats twice, which you know is a form of acceptance between you and Liv. And then, yeah. What would you like
Just so
to do?
you know, if you take Kronk from me, we're going to have a problem. Okay.
And you hear the sound of an uproarious crowd followed by money.
I'm going to take that as a yes. And I will go to the turret.
Okay. So yeah, you go up into the turret. And Hubris, you see after you've spent a good 10 minutes in the bar with Kronk, make a perception check.
14.
All right, so you see in chalk on the board as it gets kind of marked down, where you see a what looks to be like a smiling devil face, which you know is Lif's symbol for you. And then there is an arrow. 10 minutes is written in, or at least the denotion for 10. And then a depiction of what you would recognize to be the turret in your guys' house, as it's kind of like the top section of the roof is just kind of like quickly drawn and then circled where you would recognize this turret to be. And then underneath you see the little symbol for ghost that Lift draws.
Huh. Give him a thumbs up.
Yep. And so that has been marked. So, Ghost, you make your way up towards the turret, and there is another hatch that you kind of have to push up and get into. And when you enter in, it is very dark. Do you have dark vision?
That's a good question. D&D Beyond will tell me. Won't you, D&D Beyond?
No.
Passive perception. Yeah, 60 feet.
Okay. So yeah, as you climb up into this chamber and the hatch kind of comes down behind you, you hear what sounds like footsteps kind of coming from behind you. And as you turn around after kind of walking into this space a little bit, you see an outline of a very tall form. And this figure stands about 7.5 feet tall, arms kind of crossed in front of him, kind of holding them around the belt area, as you hear a voice kind of speak out to you. And in your dark vision, you can make out what look to be half-orc features.
Mm-hmm.
Nice to see you up and at 'em.
Do I recognize this person?
No. You have only ever had interactions with him when he has when you have been passed out.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Hi. Sorry, what did he say?
Said nice to see you up and at 'em.
What is that supposed to mean?
Means last time I saw you, you were lying in your friend Hubris's chair, inside of his house. I picked up a drow, or the remains of one, and I've been keeping close eyes on my old pal Hubris. And
Are you his handler?
you could say that.
Okay.
And it's come to my attention, through the grapevine, mind you, that, you tried to start a fire. Or not tried to start, you did. My informants heard you plainly admit to, yeah, I set that priest's house on fire. Should probably be a little bit more careful about the words that you say when you're out in public. But I figure Hubris is a friend, and you're a friend of Hubris. So, what I'm offering you is the same kind of freedoms that we offer to Hubris. If you join with us, I can make sure that, well, whoever it was that you were trying to burn out takes an arrow to the throat, or I can hand deliver him for you.
Who's to say I didn't kill the person I wanted to?
Well, you, again, when you were kind of saying your spiel aloud in public, saying I didn't get the right guy.
You know, I appreciate your offer, I really do, but the thrill is in the chase.
Put him in some tunnels for you. Makes things mighty fun that way. Maybe release him into the woods outside of town. Give him a 10-minute head start.
That doesn't sound very fair.
Doesn't need to be fair. You said you were looking for fun.
She kind of, her whole mannerisms relax. You know, I don't know what you want from me, but I don't know what I could get from you that I don't already have. Because what I have is patience. I've been hunting him for 15 years. I can hunt him a little longer.
Oh, we definitely have something that I know that you're after, even if you might not be thinking it.
And what's that?
Silence. You know what the crime and punishment is for arson, don't you? You know what the crime and punishment is for assaulting a noble?
Now I know.
They'll kill you twice if they could. So, what I'm offering you is the chance to keep on living. And in return, join us.
So you're saying that if I don't join you, then you're going to do what? Tell someone that you heard that I set a fire?
They ask for information. We provide information.
Is this the group that's all about toppling power, or is that the other group? I get them mixed up, I'm sorry.
This is from your understanding of the situation, is the Zentarum, and they aren't the ones that are about toppling power. They prefer to keep things the way that they are, with them kind of ruling and taking charge from the back ends.
Right. Right. I guess what do you get from me if I sell my soul to the Green Devil?
What? Sell your soul to... Are you calling me a devil?
I'm calling you a half-orc, and I was making a reference to a different saying, and I was just calling you green.
I'm gray.
It's dark. I can't tell. I'm sorry I made a
That's
generalization.
fine. What we get from you, and having you join our ranks, you helped Hubris track down the drow that was on the docks. That's... We could use someone like that. Because right now, I have somebody missing that I would like to be accounted for. And you seem like a mighty fine tracker who's in need of some silence.
Well, then how about we make a deal? A trade.
All right.
Your silence, and I'll find this person for you. No questions asked?
Doesn't weigh out. See, if I wanted to, if I found the time for it, I could find them myself. I'm a pretty good tracker, but I like letting newbies handle it. Like to see what they can do. So I offer it to you. If you join the organization, get you money, get you better clothes, a better house, get you whatever you want. And before you get it into your head, this is not a means of affection, this is a means of business.
Who said I was getting ideas of affection?
I've seen you in public. I know how you work.
I have intentions of killing this man and leaving. I don't think I can do that if I join your organization. Now, I have no doubts that by the end of this conversation, I won't have a choice. You seem very powerful, and you seem very determined.
And you can see that he is standing on top of the hatch that you know is the only way back down into the building.
I forgot what I was saying. I know how to track people, and I know how people can track me. I know that you're watching us. The only thing I ask is that I don't get one of those gross tattoos, because one, you cannot see it under my fur. Trust me, I know. And two, if you want a way to track me, I'm sure you could find me.
This is true. A tattoo is more of a formality. It doesn't have to be on your arm. It could be behind your ear.
I have fur covering every part of my body.
Doesn't bother me none. The tattoo is kind of a requirement. That's how we know.
I'm assuming that this gig is a for life situation.
Until you, if you wanted, could work your way out of it. Trade jobs for the information that we have on you until that information is in your hands. Now, as much as I'm sure Wolf and Hubris have probably let you and led you on to believe, we are honest folk. We're honest about the business that we do. And you have my word. Now, you could earn that information that we have on you back. then we'd be in the clear.
How long? How many jobs?
That depends. Because if you prove to be shitty at the job, and I set a low number, they're not going to be very motivated. So we'll say it's open-ended at this point.
I don't like that, but I don't really have any place to bargain. I guess I don't really have a choice, do I?
Wouldn't seem so.
But if you, and I don't mean this as a threat, I mean this as my word. If you come for Kronk, I will not only turn myself in, but I will give them every bit of information that I have, and probably kill myself to take the satisfaction away from you.
Wouldn't have it any other way. Now, arm or back of neck?
Ooh, can you do it on the back of my ear? Is it a magic thing?
You see this winged snake crawl out from his leathers onto his palm and just kind of look at you and flare up its wings.
Okay.
It's more of a marker.
I'll just pull up undo the behind. Ooh, no, I'll do it in my lip.
Okay.
Like the fucking gangster.
Alrighty. Sounds good. So yeah,
That's gonna hurt like a bitch.
So he grabs your lower jaw and just with his thumb, he pulls down your lip and he can see your pronounced canines. And he kind of inspects them a little bit, just grins to himself as you just feel this intense pain as the snake rears back and just bites down onto your lower lip. And then the snake releases and he lets your chin go. And he reaches into his pouch and he has a silver coin with him and he hands it over to you. And says, "Silver for your thoughts." And when you look down, you can see that this coin actually has a Zentarum winged snake kind of embedded into this coin.
Cool. I put it in my boob pocket.
Now that is a favor. If you give that to any Zent agent who knows me, tell them to give it to me. And then I can find that man for you. Otherwise, we can think of a different favor.
I can think of a lot of favors.
Me too.
And at that, he'll step off of the hatch.
Hubris will be coming up here shortly. If you want to disappear, now's the time.
That's what I planned on.
And you just see him kind of walk backwards into the shadows, and you just kind of feel him disappear.
What an asshole.
Calm yourself, go. Calm yourself.
Yeah, and Hubris, it's been about... You see, at one point you kind of got lost in conversation, and just like overhearing what Fala had been saying. And then you just hear this... as this piece of chalk is just repeatedly hitting the chalkboard, underlining 10.
Right. Okay. Hold that thought, Hala.
Yeah. And
Gets
so,
up and goes.
Yep.
When he gets up, I'll scoop up Wolf and I'll follow him so he can hold the doors or whatever, so I can go put Wolf in bed.
Okay. Yeah, so you guys then make your way upstairs, and Kronk, you go over and you lay Wolf down onto his nice bed that was actually unslept in the night before, as Wolf had decided that sleeping on the floor was just fine for him. But you weren't there to tuck him in last night, so the bed is fine, and just kind of set him down and get him comfortable. As Hubris, you make your way to the turret.
And I head to bed.
Yeah, and then you go to your bed as well.
I am sitting with my feet dangling over the edge, just kind of looking out onto the night.
Hey,
Hey.
what's up?
Oh, the situation has passed. I think that I met one of your friends.
I have very few friends. I'm in the present company of one of my friends.
I didn't get his name, did I?
No.
That's what I was going to ask, and I forgot. A half-orc gentleman, pointed teeth, very powerful, brooding.
Oh, wait. It's a Z sound. It's coming to me. Asshole. No. Zarash?
I didn't catch his
Gosh.
name.
Oh. What did he want with you? He'll walk over and sit down at the edge.
Apparently, I'm not very good at keeping secrets. Yay.
Fun. Yay.
Seems like we're part of the same club.
He holds up the snake tattoo. Twinsies?
She pulls her lip down.
Oh. You had the thing bite you, didn't you?
Yes.
Ugh. You're not a gangster.
I'm not a gangster.
Yeah, but you got the inside your mouth tattooed like some fucking gangster.
Is that a symbol I don't know? Is that what gangsters do? I thought it would be a good place to conceal it. You know, yours is on your forearm, is kind of an obvious place.
Yeah, that I can cover with my sleeve, a bracer. I could probably paint over it. I could prestidigitize.
Well, some of us don't have that luxury, and I wasn't sure if it would show up over my fur. My other one doesn't, but
You what?
my other tattoo?
You have what? You have a tattoo. Like,
Yes. Don't be shocked.
oh.
Okay. Well, I honestly only called you up here because I thought you might be the only sober one, and if it was a trap, then I needed backup. But the time has passed.
Oh. Okay. So what do you ask you to do?
Nothing yet. No, he told me to go. He said he wants somebody to wants me to find someone, but he didn't tell me who or what or when.
Oh, okay.
So
So he'll be in touch. Great.
hopefully, I mean,
Did
not
he let you meet one of your a contact or whatever, or what? Do I have to show you the ropes? Did he tell you anything about that?
No. I was hoping that he would contact me and himself. Is that not the thing?
No, usually he might come, but he's a very busy man in his case, raiding liches' tombs or whatever the fuck he does.
It's an odd profession.
Yeah. No, I got a job from, was it Nebtooth? This really gangly orc that slums around alleys and
Yes, I've met him.
yeah. That's where I got a job from.
Well, if it happens, it happens.
It's gonna happen. And it's gonna suck.
I like hunting things.
Now, don't be a me and leave us out of this one.
I'm not an idiot.
Hey,
We should go to bed.
yeah.
Got a lot to find out tomorrow. I want to know what happened outside of our home.
Like finally getting on track.
What?
What? I'll help her up.
Yes, I adjourned to my own room. Our own room.
Yeah, because when you go inside, you see that Kronk is just sprawled out like he normally is on the bed. He's wearing his jammies, though.
Spaghetti strap, one piece, jammies.
Mm-hmm.
Or the Kirigumi raccoons. We've established that.
Go to sleep.
All right. So yeah, you guys all go to sleep and wake up with all of your hit points as well as all of your spell slots. And Wolf, you gain back 1 level of exhaustion. So you are currently at 3 levels.
Oh shit! I left Fall at the bar. Fuck.
Yep.
As you wake up, shit!
I'm really bad at this thing.
Yeah, and you guys know that it is fairly. It's pretty early in the morning. Your standard slew of wake up rituals is kind of ensued, where Kronk wakes up the earliest, goes down to train, and then Wolf, you wake up in your bed. Are you going to join Kronk in the fight pit to train, or what is your current plan?
I'm going to wonder why the hell I'm in a soft, comfortable bed, and then get up and just go sit in that little common room where everyone's rooms are, apart from mine, because I'm in the attic.
Yeah, you had chosen to be near the attic.
I just want to sit there because, one, I need to talk to Ghost about the fact that our guards are working together, and two, I want to see if the two of them come out of the same room or not, because I'm just going to carve 3 days in one bar of soap and put it at the front of Hubris's door.
Okay. All right. So yeah, you see them wake up. Who would wake up first, Hubris or Ghost?
I wasn't drinking.
I had 1 beer.
You're basically drunk, RJ.
I'm basically blind.
Caleb. I have a 12 constitution.
Yeah. You're
I wake up
fine.
first.
Okay.
Okay.
Sounds good. So yeah, you end up coming out of your own room, and Wolf, you see that Ghost exits her room.
I'm wearing my nightie.
Yep.
And a robe over it, loosely tied. Morning.
Morning.
Go ahead.
Huh?
Oh, I was gonna say, as I get as far away as possible, I was gonna say something, but I'm walking by you. Okay. As I turn the corner to go down the spiral stairs, looks like I'm a snake person now, and then I continue down the stairs.
Make a perception check as you walk by. Or what's your passive?
Passive perception is 16.
All right. You see that there is a bar of lavender soap propped up against Hubris's door that has 3 days written on it.
Curious. Ghost will remember this.
As you say that you're now a snake person, Wolf's gonna get up as fast as he can. I don't know what level 3 exhaustion does. Am I able to move full distance?
You
Because
are
I will
currently.
dash action, bonus action, dash. I will move as fast as I can to try and intercept her from going anywhere else.
All right. So
How
at
fast can I
level
move?
3 exhaustion, your speed is currently halved. You have disadvantage on attack rolls and saving throws, and disadvantage on ability checks.
So I can still move 45 feet within 6 seconds.
Yep. So,
I'm
yeah,
not
you
running
cover-
away from you.
Yeah, Ghost is
Yeah.
just kind of like tired making her way towards the stairs. And then with a with a nimbleness not expected of somebody looking so exhausted, Wolf is just in front of you, arms out, kind of barring you from going down the stairs to the second landing, which would then lead you outside.
You're what?
I met a gentleman last night who said sorry, I just woke up.
Oh, want to be a snake person? Sure, why not? It's worked out well for everyone else, which I know is a snake person.
No,
Hubris, make a perception check. As they are arguing pretty close to your room.
He said that he knows about the fire and that I said it, and that in
14.
Trade me information.
Yeah, you hear them.
What the fuck is And he slips on the bar of soap. Just cracks his head against the floor, curls up.
Oh, you okay, buddy?
Oh.
That looks bad. Oh, sorry.
Are we just gonna all join? Shall we just get Kronk and just make this the headquarters of the Shantaro?
No, I didn't have a choice.
Oh, everyone has a choice.
It was either that or kill myself.
Still a choice.
You're right. I'm sorry I didn't kill myself. Do you mind if I go get coffee now?
We're talking about this while we go get coffee.
You all right, Hubris?
Not getting out of this.
I'll take mine black.
Got it.
3 days, buddy. 3 days.
What does that mean?
I'm gonna huck the bar of soap at him.
Okay. Make a ranged attack.
No, just like huck it at him.
Yeah.
Like...
So, Wolf, you definitely see Hubris just grab the soap and then hurl it towards you.
Are you making fun of him again?
No, I'm just providing a bit of motivation.
For what? As we walk down.
No. Enough about Hubris.
You always want to talk about Hubris.
Yeah, but now you kind of join the snake people, and I'm kind of the champion of a god which wants to kill the snake people.
She told you you were her champion?
Well, I gathered that's why I was chosen.
I mean, I don't think
Not
that I'm
champion
Oseron's
as qualities.
champion.
Why not? Do you know of any other people which got sent back and selected by him to...
I mean, it's kind of a thing.
Yeah, but do you know anyone else? Just
I
could
don't
people
know
pray to
anyone
him.
else who follows him.
Yeah, see? So
I've
you're his
only been
champion.
part of his religion for like a week. Well,
Yeah.
like 26 days.
Basically a week.
Basically. It
Yeah.
feels like months.
And because you're his champion, I got chosen to be Bad Luck Goddess champion.
Oh.
So now we're going to have to kill you. That
You're gonna have to
sucks.
kill me?
I don't know. You're a member of the Snake Gang.
I mean, I'm adjacent.
Do you have a tattoo?
Wouldn't you like to know?
I will insight check you. Okay.
It's like a verbal threat.
I
will
know
insight
that-
check you.
23.
Yes, I have a tattoo.
Yeah, with your perception, you could see that there was a little bit of
Oh, come on.
darker, a little bit of just kind of like a dark off coloring on the inside of her lip.
What's wrong with your lip? I want to see this tattoo.
Do you say I want to see this tattoo?
Yeah.
Where are we right now?
Just at the bottom of the stairs, about to walk outside.
I'll put my hand on the wall to stop him from moving forward and get really close to his face. Do you want to see inside my mouth?
If that's where the tattoo is, yes. Part of me also just wants to say yes, just because if Hubris walks down, because he knows what Betty's made Hubris, and this will be amazing.
She opens her mouth, just like slack jaws a little bit, and pulls her lip down. But I'm not going to tell you where the other one is. And then she backs up and walks out.
It'll be like a few seconds, and he'll be like, oh, the tattoo?
kind of get that like short circuit for a little bit, and then it finally reconnects. Just
There's another one.
Why'd the snake bite her twice? Just and so
Please don't be eyeballs. Please don't be eyeballs. Please don't be eyeballs.
So yeah, Kronk, you are in the basement when you hear the sound of Wolf and Ghost making their way into the bar beneath you guys, or above you, where you currently are, and they seem to be just kind of having their banter like they normally do, rather loudly, to the point where you know that it's them downstairs.
Wolf, you hear like a weird tapping noise. It doesn't sound like any training you've ever heard Kronk do. It's metal on metal, maybe? I mean, you've got a 22 perception. There's no way you're not hearing this.
Kronk's doing something weird, Ghost. Last time I was down in that room with him, I died.
Are you saying will you make coffee if I go downstairs?
Yeah, Hubris one is white. How do you want yours?
What? No, black.
You want yours black?
Yes.
Okay. I'll make Hubris a white coffee.
All right.
With 3 sugar.
So, because you were exhausted, you were going to be making these at disadvantage.
All right.
So, this is going to be
I don't have a cooking.
This is going to be a nature check. Or survival,
okay,
depending on which one you are better in.
Survival, that's a +3. They were both a 12, so that brings me to 15.
All right. Yeah, it's not bad coffee. And it takes you it takes you about like 15 minutes, just kind of like you've never been in this back kitchen area before, especially now that it is well stocked and actually like set out to be a business. So it actually takes you a while to find the coffee making materials, but then you get it set up.
I picked one of those coffee machines and he pushes, but oh shit, that's a weird noise. The milk frother
just shrieks at you.
Starts coming out. I'm like,
what the fuck?
It's got the bleeps, the sweeps, and the creeps.
And the machine that goes
jammed.
Yeah, so you are currently making coffee. Ghost, you open up the hatch and begin descending down into the training area.
Kronk, buddy, what are you doing?
I'm working on something.
Do you want me to see it or do you not want me to see it?
Sure.
Okay. What are you doing?
And you get down there, and he's got a hammer and he's got a chisel, and he's working away, and he's making a statue.
Where did you get that from?
The Mason guys, when they were down here, they just started to come to me. That and a drum. And he points over behind, like tucked behind some of the training gear. There's this drum, and he says, "Yeah, I don't know. It just over the time there, I picked up some new skills."
Okay. I meant, where did you get that big block?
Either bought it or just walked away with it. You know, just like nobody's using this. You know,
you would have started to walk away with it, but you would eventually like had somebody be like, "Oh, please, like you realize that's a crime, right?" Like have to remind you as you're exiting, like,
"Oh,
I ain't going to prison." Set it back down, pay for it, pick it back up, and then walk out.
All right. Yeah.
Oh, well, I'm proud of you, buddy. What are you gonna make it into?
I think he's gonna make it into like a spirit. Ooh. Like for the bar, like not look like life or
right.
live, but just a ghost, you know, a ghost kind
Ooh.
of spirit. And may I make a performance roll for artistry or mason's tools? What do you need here?
I am going to say that this would be a sleight of hand with your proficiency bonus.
All right.
As this is very meticulous.
I am proficient with said tool set.
Yes.
So, all right. Oh, it's horrible. Ouch. Sorry. All right. With my proficiency bonus, 5.
Okay. Yeah, so you are you're like, see, I'm going to try and make it look like a spirit. And then as you take another hit, you were very much jazzed up about finally being able to show somebody what you were working on and lost track of your own strength. And as you hit this arm that had kind of been like perfectly crafted up till that point, you just see the arm bend inward and point out, so it just has like this T shape to it from the force of you kind of chipping away against it.
Perfect.
Very zombie-ish. I like it.
It's a work in progress.
Yeah, no, I can't wait to see it when it's done. Do you want coffee?
He gets that scared look.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
I thought you... Okay.
We're gonna go out on the town today and see what we can see. Probably should have asked that guy last night. I have stuff to tell you, but I'm a little tired, and I think that right now is not the time.
Coffee
right.
first.
Then conversation. Just so you know, not withholding information, just tired. And I like slowly back out.
Okay.
I hold, waiting, hatch closes, ting, 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 ting.
Okay.
Ting, ting, ting.
Yeah, so Ghost, you are you're sitting upstairs, and Wolf eventually brings out the cups of coffee that he had prepared, including a white coffee for Hubris, as he had said he was going to make. Hubris, you are upstairs, and you can just feel your head just aching from where you tripped and kind of ate shit on the floor. And you had heard just Wolf and Ghost talking amongst themselves as they made their way outside of the living quarters and kind of made their way down and around outside.
Yeah, after a few minutes of rubbing his temples, he's just gonna walk downstairs and into the bar area.
Okay. So as you get, right as you are about to get to the door, you hear on your door.
Fuck. He opens it.
Okay, and as you open the door, you see in front of you, it is, their face is covered in fur. They have long, slender ears pointed back that you've only really seen one other time. You can see what looks to be the face of Ghost. If Ghost had not lost her eye, if she hadn't been burned alive, if she hadn't turned into a spiteful monster over the years that you've known her, you can see that rather than there being a hardened look in her eyes, there's actually like this very gentle look kind of seeing you back, and being this close, you can see that the fur that they have is actually a slightly different grain coming from along her face. It doesn't seem to be following the same patterns, and there is just a unruly head of hair where Ghost keeps hers very very straight and perfectly tucked to the back. Hers is just this kind of straw-ish color almost that's been pulled back into a bun, and you can still see that there are curls of hair kind of coming down from the side. And looking kind of directly into her face, you can just see that instead of a black nose, there's just this pink nose on this face, as they bring their hands up in front of their chest and just say, "I'm sorry, does Klee Kai live here?" And that is where we are going to call it for tonight's episode. So I wanted to say thank you to everybody who decided to stop by. Yes, RJ, you said you...
Oh, Ghost has said that she's had a sister, right?
Yeah.
Her name's Klee Kai?
And that is where we will cut it off. I dig it. So I wanted to say thank you to everybody who decided to stop by and enjoy our wonderful, wonderful Waterdeep Dragon Heist game. I would like to apologize to everybody who is watching this, as well as to my players, because we will not be able to play next week because I will be in Philadelphia, or not Philadelphia. I'll be in Pittsburgh at that time after myself and RJ go to PAX Unplugged. So if you were at PAX Unplugged this weekend, you should definitely come by and say hello, or just like accuse me of killing my players sometimes. But it's all right. I bring them back.
All the time, you monster.
What? No.
Emotionally.
Well, hey, that's different. There's a difference between emotional death and physical deaths, as our dear friend Wolf has made himself very in tune with over the last few weeks. But I again wanted to say thank you to the 2 winners of our giveaway. I will be getting in contact with you. But RJ, where can we find you? What do you do?
Oh, hi. I am RJ here on the show, or RJustice282 on Twitter and Twitch, where I tweet about the nerdy things in my life and about how work sucks. I know she left me roses on the stairs. Surprise, let me know she cares.
God damn it.
I also play Caleb on the Monday Night Show.
All right. Greybeard, where can we find you? What do you do?
I'm Greybeard at Greybeards Tavern, and you can find me at greybeardstavern.com. All my social media and whatnot are there. And I play Darkest Dungeon on Sunday mornings, though I've had a rough time of it lately because of work. So come see us when you can. And I'm, of course, here. I play on another show, too, but you can find that out if you go to greybeardstavern.com.
And we want to go to greybeardtavern.com and not Greybeards Tavern.
Oh, yeah.
Just wanted to make that distinction because the other is a biker bar in Florida.
Well, but the biker bar doesn't have a website, so you should be safe. You should be safe.
We should.
But if you're just looking around, you're going to find the biker bar and the dead prostitutes and the fire and it's that kind of place.
Darkest Dungeon is way better.
Yeah, exactly. Thanks.
All right. And LB, where can we find you? What do you do?
You can find me here on Mondays and Tuesdays, and then pretty much any other time I'll be on the Discord. I want to get better at tweeting, and maybe next week I'll do something special because we're not gonna play.
It's true.
Even though we're so close to having a wholesome episode, so close.
It makes it fun. And then Barry, where can we find you? What do you do?
For once, it's not me who's having a messed up week or fortnight waiting to get into next session. Suck Dan LB. Backstory. Yeah, you can find me Twitch, Twitter, damn it, Barry. This weekend, I am in another Extra Life charity thing where I play a half orc, half gnome, so I can be really small, barbarian fighter rogue called Nug Nug, who has more weapons than I think Kronk owns, or Greybeard himself owns.
That might be pushing it.
No, I'll make it happen. But yeah, so that's Saturday night, Sunday morning is my 2 things. So Sunday morning runs a battle royale where I get to kill people.
Yeah.
I get to be indoor.
What? No. It's fine. And, of course, I am the Indoor Adventurer. I wanted to say thank you to all you wonderful players. To everybody who is tuning in or has made it this far, you know my standard spiel. You can find the VODs at youtube.com/The Indoor Adventurer. You can find us on Twitch at twitch.tv/The Indoor Adventurer. You can find us on any audio platform, primarily through anchor.fm/indoor -adventures, or if you just want to search Indoor Adventures on your iTunes podcasts, then we'll be there. The contest that we had earlier was to celebrate over 1,000 listens, and today we hit 1,900. So it's been a pretty good time, I would say. Also, to anybody who was a new subscriber, you can link up your Twitch with Discord, and then you can hop in and join us on our Discord chat and hang out. We're there pretty much all the time. Ever's just posting about D&D games. There's a lot of music recommendations that get thrown around there a lot, to the point where that's pretty much my my listening at work, is just listening to all the songs that everybody posts. And if you would like to further support the show, I'm putting a link to our Patreon in the chat below. So if you sign up through Patreon, you can also join our Discord that way, and then that is how you will be able to ask us questions for the after show that we roll into after this. So if you would like to join in on questions for our after show, if you would like to hop into our Discord, just sync up your Twitch with Discord, or hop in on the Patreon. Either way. Also through the Patreon, I write adventures every month, so we're gearing up to either tomorrow or the next day. I will send out the adventure that I have been writing to all my patrons. So I wanted to say thank you again to everybody who has stuck by, but we have to go into our after show. So we will see you guys, not next week, but the week after. So December 11th, we will return. But next week, I will be putting up games from our Extra Life charity event if you missed them. So look forward to that, and we will see you guys shortly. All right, everybody. Bye-bye.